Turtle Club. It is. It is been way too long since we've done a community night on Mario Kart, or any other game for that matter. First, we want to say that we are sending out good vibes to the world right now for those that are about to be impacted by Hurricane Fiona. We have a number of fans and subscribers and viewers who are in the northeastern part of the North American continent. Sal being one of the primary ones there, and so they were kind of hunkering down today, where we normally would have that community online with us as we begin at 8 Central, and then move on to our Central viewers. We won't be seeing them probably tonight, but we are going to go and kind of get this fired up here. The way we do this is, you can see above my head, we have our Switch game code, and we run 4 mirror mazes, and we accept all our friends. We do 5 battle modes, and we accept friends. We rinse, lather, repeat, and at the end of the night, when all is said and done, we go for a very competitive. Oh, that's right. There's a new one of these. I have not been on the Convertible Turtle Gaming account for Mario Kart for a very long time. I don't have any of the bonus tracks. To be honest, I know some people aren't going to really appreciate that, right? Because these are all the courses that we know from forever ago. But I just haven't seen an overall need exactly for the bonus tracks. The extra stuff, and boy, I need to update that me. He's not too far off. I mean, he's got the same kind of facial hair, but he definitely needs the real long hair on that. But so, you know, the big huge push for that, right, is going to be all the other games, right? The 16-bit and above emulation that happens on the Switch Online stuff. And to be honest, I own a lot of those games, for starters, and I have a house now. Before, I used to have like half my consoles set up, right? Half my consoles were set up in my apartment with Digrat, and now I've got them all set up. The only one I don't actually is one of my favorite little consoles of all time, the Ouya. And unfortunately, the Ouya got bought out by Mad Catz, and then Mad Catz closed the store down, and most of the Ouya games, unfortunately, required online play. If not exact direct online play, all the Ouya games at least had online DRM kind of stuff going on. So once they closed that store, my poor little Ouya is little more than a video player now, which is unfortunate. It is what it is, though. But yeah, we're gonna see if we get any actual viewers to pop in today and get some stream courses going. It's been a hot minute. Actually, you know what? I did not actually put in the game as Mario Kart. I got the title on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There we go. Man, this game's 5 years old. This game is older. Actually, no, not quite yet. This game is almost as old as our channel. This channel started in very early 2017, and the Switch came out just shortly thereafter. And it's just, oh man. Actually, maybe it's 2016. I'm having a hard time keeping track of the channel's age now. Wow, it's been a long time. But yeah, we will, once we get some people popping up in the friends only room, we'll start from there and see what we can actually get up as far as the course run goes. As always, any of our supporters or sponsors in our Discord will have the opportunity to join our public stream room and be able to speak on stream with us. Anyone who is just a viewer is more than welcome to join in that room to have direct audio, which for some of the races and competitive stuff that we get into, it's kind of useful to have that, because you can hear people, especially like in things like Shine Thief and the like. You can hear when people are, with the Shine Thief, or if they lose the Shine Thief and that kind of things. We were thinking about doing Smash Brothers tonight. We might just go ahead and back out of this for a bit as we get people to trickle in, but get some more going here. We were going to do Smash Brothers, but a couple things. One, I don't have all the characters unlocked because I wish I had all the time available to do things like that. We'll do 50cc because I'm bad at this. But I wish we had all of everything, unlocked all the time in the world to do things. We'll just do Mushroom Cup just to kind of get going. Oldest stream on your feed is 2017. Oh, hey, Alienated One. Hey, man. Okay, cool. I thought it was 2017, but I couldn't remember. Because I know we got it, like, we started the beginning of that year, and then the Switch came out, like, that same year. And we started streaming Breath of the Wild, like, shortly after. But, yeah. Hope your night's going alright, man. There's the button. I was like, which button does what? It's been a very long time since I played this. Breath of the Wild stream, April. Yeah, because I had jury duty when I got my Switch. Oh, I thought that was a banana that we were about to get. But yeah, we had jury duty. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. But if we had to get hit like that, it's not a bad time to get hit like that. We're okay with getting a point. Just working, or you join me. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Oh, Alienated One. Speaking of joining and stuff, right? In Turtle Club in general, if you have an Epic Games account, Alienated One was quick to inform us that Ark Survival Evolved is currently available for free on Epic Games. Now, if you like Ark, it is mod free when you play on Epic Games, and we do no longer have an Epic Games server. Apparently, most people will get it for free on Epic, and then afterwards, they 1,000% will opt to instead get it on Switch, or not Switch, on Steam. Don't get it on Switch. Switch is really bad for Ark. But they'll get it on Steam so they can play with the mods and stuff, and it's much better modded. Most games usually are. But the other game on Epic Games right now is Gloomhaven. And Gloomhaven, not exactly what I call a family-friendly game. But, oh. I don't think even the blue shell stops me, though. Gloomhaven is a really good co-op game. Diggerette and I have the sequel to it called Jaws the Lion as a board game, and we've been playing it and having a great time. It just does require an awful lot of setup as a board game. And so a digital version of that would be much easier to play, I think. Even though, hey Sal, stay while you can and appreciate it. The super important priority is stay safe. We like you hanging out here, but there's to quote Sophia Petrillo from the Golden Girls, there's a hurricane a-coming. Yes. Gloomhaven is a heavy game. Jaws the Lion, not so much. Like, it's still pretty heavy. I want to say it's like maybe closer to like 12 pounds. But yeah, it's a great game. It's if you like RPGs and if you like MMO kind of games, Gloomhaven is absolutely good for that. Hey, Keo! Welcome to the stream, man. Glad you're able to pop in for a moment. You can actually use the Jaws of the Lion as part of Gloomhaven. That's cool. They can be combined. Yeah, I saw something along those lines about Gloomhaven and Jaws of the Lion being, usable together, but Like there's some things that you have to do, like you can't carry over your characters or something like that, or you can't go like backwards or something. But Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, though, it's really, really, really entertaining, and also it's one of those games that it's cooperative, right? And as a married person, um, when you start playing video games with people, and they're your family members and your loved ones, no matter the yeah, I didn't think I was going to beat that. Okay, no matter the game, right? There's always going to be somebody in the group that is just good. That happens. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose, and this is typically what most board games are like. Most card games are like that. Most video games, right? If you're doing cooperative, then you're not going to have a winner or a loser in each game session. But if you're doing something competitive, like Mario Kart, there's going to be a winner and a loser. You can't beat that, right? But games like Gloomhaven, though, they're cooperative, meaning that as you start playing, there's you and your party members, and your goal is to beat beat the enemies. And you'd much rather be home playing this. Oh, I understand that. Tired of overtime. I have not been working a whole lot of overtime. My company's not really keen on it, for number one. And number two, I'm in a real comfortable spot. And being in that spot means I don't necessarily have to work the overtime that I used to have to work. Yeah. Working overtime is I I used to say it's a young man's game, but it's not really. It's more like a hungry person's game, I think. And either you're hungry for money, or you're hungry for, like, paying your rent and shelter bill and all that kind of stuff. And there's a few things like I'm wanting to get. And I think if I were to work like 3 days of overtime, then I would get that added to my check, and I'd be able to get that thing. And it's kind of double-edged, right? Because if I'm doing the overtime, then all the things that I like to do on my time off, I don't get access to. And I'd much rather have that right now. Much rather have that. Mandatory overtime for 2 years. That's not a mandatory overtime thing. That's a problematic schedule, is what that is. That someone in your scheduling department has failed to do what they're supposed to do. 3 days of overtime means 11 days in a row. Yeah, for us, it's brutal. It's brutal, and they won't. Because if you do 3 days of overtime, you get that 11 in a row, and what they won't let you get that 12th one where we were, because the 12th one is double time instead of time and a half. Which, if you think about it, isn't really all that. Divine Love Reborns. Hey, welcome to the channel. Glad you can make another live stream. Oh, having a bomb in my backside was not a good thing for the red shell. But yeah, I, for one, I've been approached for overtime a couple times, but the spot that I'm working at and the position that they've placed me in due to the headcount situation doesn't really give me a whole lot of opportunity to work what they want me to work. Yeah, Divine, they're doing good. Thank you for asking about that. Divine Love Reborns is actually a friend that I grew up with in that little podunk town that I've mentioned a few times. But yeah, it's been doing pretty good. My mom got married. I don't know if you knew that or not. On New Year's Eve of 2021. go. Last lap for this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's been enjoying life. But yeah, so if you're an Epic Games subscriber, Turtle Club, Ark Survival Evolved, and Gloomhaven, both available for you for free. How close are they to me? Oh, really? Really? Shelled upon, oh, and then lightning bolt. Wow. Wow. That dry bones is coming for me too. I can see him. You know, I was looking at other games because, you know, it's been a while since we've really things are finally settling down. Buying a new house is just crazy. Super crazy. Things are finally settling down though, to where we can kind of get things going and do things and get kind of some more consistency going. And as far as that goes, right, there's just a lot of games out there. Oh my gosh, Turtle Club. The number of games that we want to play and the number of games we have and the number of games that we have time to play are so disproportionate. Just totally outright disproportionate. We plan to be live for about 2 hours today, Keo. So till about it'll be 9 p.m. Central, and we'll probably be signing off. We had responsibility this morning, and we had errands to run and all that, and we forgot that one of those errands was we have library books to return, and I forgot how this worked. And so after the stream, we got to go and drop the library books off before midnight, so they catch me on camera doing that. You know, I've been in first for so long during these races that I don't think I've gotten a single mushroom. Red shell will be great though. Yeah, I felt kind of bad about that too. I was like, oh my gosh, like the first time we're gonna go live in like forever on a Friday night, and I just totally forgot about it. Ah, almost got it. Yeah, first place you should normally get coins and banana peels. There is a thing you can do, right, called item smuggling, where you basically grab an item that's like for like 6th place or something, and go for it, and just keep it. But I'm not smart enough to do that usually. Like, I understand it intellectually, just my playstyle just doesn't afford me any time for that. Though the coins do actually serve a purpose, and that is to be splattered out like that when you get hit by the blue shell, of course. But they do increase your top speed of your cart by a little bit. I think it's like 1% per coin or something silly like that. Oh, I went for it and I failed for it. Oh, and a blue shell. Yeah. Well, you know, when you're playing against other people, though, alienated, sometimes it's really good to be like first place and have a blue shell, because only one person can have a blue shell at a time. You just drive and things happen. Well, you also play as Link on a motorcycle, so that's a little different, Keo. That's just a tiny bit different. Yeah, yeah, true. When you're playing in group, the coins do kind of help the score a bit. They're like tiebreakers, I think. Boom. Bowser Jr. We got the Mushroom Cup. Bam. So right now it's me, Keo, Divine, Alienated, and Sally. So I think Alienated's working, Keo's about to work, Sally's hunkering down for the storm. Stay safe, Sally. And Divine, I don't know if you've got a Switch in Mario Kart. So we're probably just... things happen when you're in Moo Moo Meadows. This is not untrue. When the cows go moo, Keo has flashbacks. Lurking, yeah. PTSD returning. Oh, lots of things are returning, guys. We're looking forward to doing this every Friday night. It's been a long time. Shot fired. It's been a long time. I have been looking at other games though. Like I was walking through my local game available place here, and I don't know about that. I think Baby Kart's pretty good, or yeah, Baby Park, I think. Xbox One. Yeah, Xbox is pretty good. As hardware goes, it's pretty good. On the Xbox and the PlayStation, for the most part, I've not really found any games that just call out to me like they used to. There's been a few, and I've picked them up, but I have like this this thing that Digret calls the pile of shame, and that pile of shame includes a whole stack, like, and I mean stack, of games from Black Friday's past. Enjoy watching people play. Hey, there's people like that. Some people, like to watch games played. I mean, look at professional sports, right? There are a lot of people that will absolutely not play football or basketball or baseball or soccer. They'll never be athletic, and they can absolutely root for their home team. A lot of people doing that for the Atlanta Braves this weekend. Atlanta Braves are currently in the running for winning their division. They just have to sweep the Mets, and they will have that. But it's, so where I used to live, nearby the Braves Stadium, is just a quagmire right now. Keo versus Alien, one of their least favorite courses. It's just spamming Moo Moo Meadows and Rainbow Road. Get the new Pokemon OLED Switch. I keep looking at all that stuff, right? I mean, I have an original Switch. Are they still doing road construction in that area? I did see any road construction because I go up there every Thursday now, Alienated, to play cards and hang out with the crowd over at the card shop. So I didn't notice any construction, but I also only was like, wait, is this Friday Night Mag Stream? Incendio! Yes, man. This is a Friday Night Mag Stream. They're coming back. It's a very long trip for me, yes. It is. When there is no traffic on the highway, it's about an hour and 20 minutes. But, the closest card shop here otherwise is like 50 minutes, and the second closest is like 55, 60 minutes. And so if I'm going to be driving on the road for an hour anyways, I might as well go see people I like and not people that I might not like. If that makes any sense. But yeah, the Pokemon OLED, and all the other OLEDs that they've had, because they've had a couple of different models of that, they look really, really good from like every perspective, right? But the Splatoon 3 OLED, oh yeah, all those, that's the thing, right, is there's a lot of FOMO with that, and there's a lot of scalpers going with it. I won't, And the other thing is, right, there's not a, you would think, right, that there would be a big market for used Switches and stuff, but there really isn't, because the way Nintendo does their bans, they ban by hardware, and no one really wants to buy a used Switch unless they're like somebody's mom or dad or something, right, trying to get something for their Christmas gift, or the grandparents going, well, I'm gonna get an affordable model. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me be clear. I have so much used video game consoles, so many used video game peripherals, and so many used video games that, trust me, I'm not the first person to harsh anybody's fun when it comes to getting used stuff. But there's some concern there. Skins are cheap. You can resell Joy-Cons. Yes. Yeah, if you already have, well, in my opinion, to be honest, um, ugh, to be honest, I've not seen a need myself, period, to get an OLED. And now, I very, 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 and we could spend the next 10 minutes going over the number of varies I can say for this, but I very rarely play in handheld mode, which is really one of the reasons why I'm so confused with the fact that I've got Joy-Con drift on my Joy-Cons, because I never use them. Um, yeah, the Animal Crossing one. Yeah, the Animal Crossing one was good. Yeah, you got it because you never had a Switch to begin with. And then, if you don't have a Switch, yeah, go for the OLED. If you think you're going to be playing in portable mode, go for the OLED. Don't get the Switch Lite. No matter what you're going to be doing, don't get the Switch Lite. The Switch Lite is just so feature lack. You have the drift on your Pro. So the Pro-Con you should be able to actually take care of if you get some drift, because it's a whole lot different on the way those are built. I've actually cleaned mine out once, because dirt and stuff just collects in those Joy controllers, in the little thumb ports and stuff. And so, like a toothpick, cotton swab, that kind of thing. If you really want to get hardcore with it, you can actually pull the shell apart and stuff. There's a lot of guides online that you can check out that will tell you 1,000% on how to do that for like customizing Joy-Cons and stuff. Oh, we missed the little. That's okay. That's maybe not. Oh, we're still good. We're still way in first place. But yeah, I've looked at them and they're like, cool. And if my actual Switch was going bad, I would consider it, but I would do what I could to fix my Switch. Speaking of which, it was like half a year ago or so, I think. My Switch started making a really weird grinding noise, and it was a problem, right? It was a concern, to say the very least. And it turned out it was the fan going bad in the Switch. Those fans, they're not meant to last forever. They build them like they should last forever, but they're not meant to. Let's be reasonable, right? The Nintendo and the Super Nintendo and everything else, it's like passive cooling. Yeah, Incendio remembers this because, if I recall correctly, you offered to fix it for me, or offered to fix my drift or something like that. He's like, hey, Mag, ship it to me. I found the local guy, a friend, that would actually fix it, and they did really good at correcting it, and it's been fine since. And it didn't cost me hardly anything at all. I mean, it was like parts, and parts, and I gave him a little bit extra for his time. You do that for friends. You take advantage of their generosity, and then you give them a nice little tip to make up for the fact that you took advantage of their generosity. If I had a mushroom, I could take that extra corner, but I didn't. I might come in second this round. But if the Switch had gone bad, if it was one of those things that was not recoverable, absolutely, I would have been like, okay, well, it's time for me to get an OLED. I did look in at one point when Digger and I started playing Animal Crossing. I looked at getting a Switch Lite so we could have a third island, because we're silly and crazy like that. But the Switch Lite has so many issues and so many potential just bad design decisions that I was like, we're good. We're beyond good. I didn't mean to counter drift. I didn't mean to run into that. I didn't mean to lose my first place lead if I lose it there. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of that, you know. You just got to kind of figure out what's going on and figure out what it is that you really want and what you're going for. Because I know some people out there, coworker actually, that the one that relieves me in the morning, went out and got an OLED. Has like 2 switches in the house, went out and got an OLED, and it was, you know, they are a very, what's, I'm trying to find a nicer word to say snob, because they're not snobbish. They're just very particular about the quality of the audio and the quality of the picture that they get everywhere. Casual. Yeah, we can say casual, except for I don't think there's anything at all casual about what they're doing when it comes to things like audio. Oh, okay, that probably saved me from the red shell at least. Oh, and there goes all my stuffs. Wow. Blue shell ghosted and then lightning bolted. Very proper, yeah. Casual gamer. Yes. Yes, very casual gamer. I would 1000% say that. Their whole reason for buying a Switch, Turtle Club, is because they're playing the Lego games. 1000% on the Lego games. They're a very big Lego person, and that's fine. I like the Lego games. They're not my favorite, but they're fun. They're a good way to, you know, spend some time. But yeah, when it comes to audio and visual stuff, they're leaps and bounds beyond me on what I'm willing to spend. Like they came up to me and said, "Hey Mag, I'm getting a new audio system for my television set." I'm like, "Oh cool!" And he shows me what he's put you to sleep due to the music. Let's see here. I'm gonna crank this fan up just a little bit, Turtle Club. If we hear a little bit of static, it's not static. It's literally the fan just chopping the air. Apologize for that, but it's really humid and it's about 76 or 78 degrees in the room right now. It dropped. It's actually outside. This is the crazy part. It's 64 degrees outside. Oh yeah. You used to like sit right beside him desk-wise. Yes. So the OLED comes out. He rushes out and grabs one. Those people, that's what the OLED's made for. That's giving them a better experience graphically than what they wanted. Now, one thing I am happy about though is there's not been any like games that are specifically built for the OLED. Like, I think Nintendo learned their lesson a long time ago with the expansion pack. Alright, so we would do this to this to this. There we go. We lost our counter slide, it's fine. I don't recognize this course. Like, I don't think anyone in this road club ever like chooses this. Oh yeah, me too. There's some vinyls that I will absolutely admit to owning. Like, I have a vinyl copy of Tommy, the musical. I have a vinyl copy of a few country albums from forever ago, some disco albums, stuff that I inherited, right? And some albums, hearing them on vinyl kind of puts you back in that nostalgia phase. But I usually don't listen to songs for the audio quality. Some people do that. A lot of people do that. I just listen to music to kind of put me in that state of mind of what my memory is talking about for that. Boom. That's fine, right? You know, to each their own. I guess we'll just move on behind us and hope for the best. Can we get into... There we go. when you listen to music as loud as you do, quality goes out the door. That's a fair point too. That's a fair point too. I mean, if you're listening to music loud enough for your neighbors to hear it, then quality kind of stops at like 5 feet away from the speaker. You get some distortions at the very least. Now there is a line though, right? Like if the music is not going to be decipherable for me, then the quality does matter somewhat, right? Like I've had some headsets and some headphones that have been very much no. We're not going to listen to this on these. And I am a little bit snobbish when I'm listening to music in my car, because I will use the USB adapter, because it does have a higher fidelity rate than Bluetooth, but also because Bluetooth just has a habit of dropping out. You know what's kind of funny is, I know you've got a couple years on me, Alien into One, and I'm keeping in my head, all I'm hearing is this like old outage. If the music's too loud, you're too old. And I'm thinking, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Because the older you get, the more your hearing goes, and the louder the music has to be. We're doing pretty good on these little cups. I was also looking at Pokemon Arceus as a possible game to pick up, but I was surprised that it looks great. I've seen several streamers playing it. A new vehicle customization. Hey, I haven't had one of those in a long time. That's pretty cool. Grand Prix, 50cc. We got something new. Huh. So it increases our speed and our weight, decreases our acceleration though. Well, actually we were using this. Like, we don't lose any acceleration. And wait, what's the difference? It wasn't truly as open world. Yeah, I feel like that's also going to be the downfall of Scarlet and Violet. Like, there's no difference between these two, right? How funny, how funny. That's so amazing. Like, so Scarlet Violet, one of the big huge things that we were so excited for, me and Stripe McLean and mostly Average Gamer Mike. Which is funny because their call sign is MAG, which is hilarious. We were all excited. We were talking about Pokemon Scarlet Violet because it's going to be open world and you're going to be able to take on the gyms in anywhere you want to. And that was like amazing, right? And I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be like this really awesome world, kind of first time for us to kind of really see Pokemon in this way. And then Nintendo kind of drops the bombshell that you can take on the gyms in any order. However, they're not going to scale. So if you take on Gym 1, it's designed for you to take on it first. But if you take on, say, Gym 8, it's not designed for you to take on it first, and it's going to have like max level Pokemon. So the odds of you actually taking it out are really, really, really low. That's one of the things that really, really just kind of, gets me going on Arceus, man, is the fact that it's this really awesome depth of story, this really amazing Gameplay difference, right? I mean, you having to actively dodge and roll and all that kind of stuff. I'm totally on board for that. I'm totally on board for that. But at the same time, yeah, there is some difference in the open worldness. My understanding also is getting access to some of the areas is a little finicky. I've seen some of the speed run challenges that a few of the competitive players have been doing, like Wolfie and Alpha Rad and those guys. Um, it's been something that it looks fun, and I really just want to play just kind of a straight up fun game. Now I have been having a very fun time with the Cowabunga collection that I got for my birthday from Dick Rat. I have been playing that a little bit more than I thought I would. I figured I'd burn through it all and then be done. I haven't burned through it all for starters, but I have been replaying stuff. Yeah, exactly. So it's not exactly open world, and see, and that's kind of one thing I really wish that Scarlet and Violet would have done differently with what they've hyped up so far about it. Is that it would be truly open world, and when you get to the gym leader in different towns, I was talking to Mag Mike, and what he was saying um, was he's still on board for it, and we've been talking about doing a Nuzlocke when it comes out, like a Scarlet Violet Nuzlocke. He chooses one, I choose the other, and we stream it on the other channel because well, I don't know. Mag might may be able to be family friendly. I would have to run that by him. We might be able to do it on this channel and get a time together for that. But something like that would be kind of fun, I think, to do a Nuzlocke in a blind area. But we were talking, how cool would it be? Clearly we can't ask for this for Scarlet Violet because that's done, right? That's wrapped up. Lids on that. Those cartridges are already out in the world. If anybody thinks that those cartridges aren't already made and in a warehouse somewhere ready to ship, you have totally lost the script. But for the next game, because Nintendo's already thinking ahead, right? They have to be. For the next game, we were thinking, how cool would it be, if you were able to choose your starting town, and your starting town would determine which starters you could have access to. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you on that. Alienated, Monster Hunter and the knockoff game, right? Dauntless. I played Dauntless for a little bit, and those games look great. Those games are amazing. I have zero problem with those games, but they look like they're the kind of game that absolutely does 1,000% better when you're with friends. And there's nothing wrong with those games, providing you've got friends that are awake and have time and that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's one thing that makes Elder Scrolls Online so amazing for me and Dig Rat is we're playing those together, and we also play them separate because some of the things she wants to do and some of the things I want to do don't mesh up. But when she's doing things that I would like to do and vice versa, or things that she would not something that she wants to do, but something she wants to accomplish. Those are very different things. Let's kind of put that out there and get that defined properly, right? Is sometimes what you want to do and what you're going to do are different. And as far as all those kind of things go, I like going into the storyline stuff, and I like going into the dangerous areas and taking on the bosses and going through dungeons and all that kind of thing. And she likes going around on the stealth assassin missions and doing the shopping stuff and the auctioning stuff and farming for various things. and doing the easier quests, the more casual questing stuff. And we're just the two people, right? But one thing that they added recently is there are NPCs that you get access to who can tank and heal and all that. Talking to her horse. Oh, alienated. She has far more than just a horse in this game. She has gotten quite the non-combat mini pets and the cosmetic mount collection through the system. Yeah, she doesn't just have a horse; she has a bug and a lot of other things. See, that's cool. That's cool. Right here, I just kind of turned this direction on my PlayStation 4 shelf. I've got City Skylines, Fallout 4, Monster Hunter World, Skyrim, Uncharted 4, The Last of Us, Uncharted 3, Strange Brigade, Borderlands 1, 2, 3, the Borderlands prequel, and that's just the PS4 stuff. And most of those legit Turtle Club are still in the shrink wrap. Oh, your wife's playing ESO? That's cool. I did not know that. I know we had talked about all of us playing at one point, but pre-sequel, not prequel. Yeah, the pre-sequel, not prequel. Yeah, it's part of the Handsome collection. But yeah, I've got like 4 Borderlands games, and I've played the original Borderlands. Game was amazing. I played the hunter character. I got like halfway through it, and then life sort of took a different turn, and just hadn't picked it up since. But then there was like one of those sales for Black Friday. But yeah, ESO I've been heavily involved in until the last patch sort of killed it a little bit. The last patch just sort of made me sad. I still can DPS well. I can still heal well enough. I just not enough to make it out. All right, Keo. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you, dude. And that was the dryer. I have a load of laundry, but it can it can wait for this. We can wait for this actual race here to be done, and then I'll go and restart the dryer, guys. I need to stand up and stretch my legs anyways. Question mark, Tiny Items Mario jumping over piranha plants. That's cool. I have a number of like really fun shirts. Yes, it has to, Incendio. It has to. If I don't keep the little alarm on it for stuff like that, I'll get involved with something like this, and I will forget that I'm doing that. It's kind of part of the ADHD thing. I get just hyper focused. The worst of it, the very worst of it, is I'll get hyper focused, and I'll realize that I haven't eaten anything. Like I actually set alarms to remind me to eat. It's kind of sad. As an adult, it's like, hey, I have this thing that tells me when I need to eat, and I'm a big dude. At my lightest in the last few years, I've been at almost 350. Like I got to 352. Can't protect from the blue shell with the green shell. It's not the way those work. But so when you look at me, it's like, no, Mag, you've not missed any meals, and I'm like, yeah, I have. Case in point, it kind of happened yesterday. I was at the card shop. I ate breakfast. I'm really good about eating breakfast because you get up and you're just starved, right? We'll just hold on to this in case anybody else is jealous. And so super starved, eat breakfast. I drive an hour and 40 minutes to the card shop. I get there, start playing. Everything's going pretty good. Ah, it's not a blue shell though, so we're all right. That's 2 red shells. Oh my gosh, that's just rude. But yeah, yeah, you can't wait to start this job and have insurance again. You can start Zinnies or Viance again. See, I've not been properly researched. Yes, there is a Taco Bell right there, Alienated One. You're not wrong. But like, I got into the shop, right? I started playing a 4-person pod, and then I played another 4-person pod, and I played another 4-person pod, and before I knew it, it was midnight, and the Taco Bell had like a line super long, and I was talking with everybody outside of the shop, and yeah, it was right there, and until it wasn't. Princessa, hi. Thank you for popping in. Let's see here. I actually don't have a break card on this. How interesting. How interesting. Well, Turtle Club, I'm going to take a brief break. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to get some water because it's still very warm in here. I'm also going to go restart that dryer that I mentioned. We got about an hour left on today's stream. Thank you for all for hanging out, and I shall return quickly. I don't know what this highlight reel does, so we'll do that and see what happens. We. All right. This might be where we lose. We might lose. We might lose. Actually, can I pause? I can pause here. All right. Because I clicked a button and then all of my stuff went away and I clicked the wrong button. All right. Yeah. So much better. Yeah, I agree. I muted myself because I didn't know if I was going to make any noises that I would be embarrassed about while changing out the laundry. It's funny. I meant to do the laundry yesterday. I really did, because I actually have a Mario Kart T-shirt that I had planned for wearing tonight if we went with Mario Kart, and we almost went with Smash Brothers, but I remember the last time we did Smash Brothers, it just did not go really well. Lots of just bad net code in general. But yeah, so as far as like replacing nutrients and stimulants burn, I probably need to look into that because I drink a lot of caffeine. I am a caffeinated person. I go through somewhere between 2 energy drinks to above 3 energy drinks worth of caffeine a night, because not only am I drinking energy drinks, but I'm also drinking, like, caffeinated soda, that kind of stuff. I'm trying to scale back on it, but it's not easy, especially with the last like month or so where my sleep has just been. I've not been afforded the opportunity to sleep at regular hours. I wonder what I'll get off the double block. The coin box. Oh, speaker box. It's not bad. But yeah, I've been looking at a lot of stuff Turtle Club to kind of like get back into the swing of things, right? I can see the exit. Awesome. Speaker boxed it. They're not getting me there at all. Doing pretty good there. Doing pretty good. Let's see. Well, unfortunately, looks like the Discord mic has gone AWOL on us, though. It's unfortunate. View results. So, speaking of Digrat, just got a message from Digrat. Let's see what's going on. Star Cup, first on all of it. We're good with that. Wow. One moment, guys. Kimura, do I need a paid Nintendo membership to join you in Mario Kart? To do any of the Nintendo Online stuff, Princessa, unfortunately, it does require a paid Nintendo membership. However, I'm not getting the bonus tracks. I'm specifically not getting the bonus courses because, number one, I don't see as super extra value in all the things that they're adding to for the extra monthly or the extra yearly fees. And number two, I really don't want to exclude any more Turtle Club members than a subscription already excludes, if that makes sense. So Bowser Jr. You know, I don't. Darn, I can't join. See, I was kind of. That's the one thing. It's really weird, right? Oh, it's the life of Caden. Hey, welcome, welcome. Oh, now this is probably the first course that I'm going to play in the night, guys. That I'm probably going to get wrecked on. Oh, are these the bonuses? I bet I can't play these, right? Like if I try this, yeah. See, I don't have those turned on. I do have the first ones there. But yeah, it's really weird, right? Because when we do stream sessions like this, when we do community stream sessions, Xbox requires a fee, PS4 requires a fee, Nintendo requires a fee. Now, granted, Nintendo is cheapest. But when you're on PC, depending upon the game and the service and where you're playing and what you're playing, there's less involved. But the problem is, of course, that a computer is infinitely more expensive than a console, which is just the truth of the matter. And so it's like on the one hand, I want to include as many people as possible, and so we wind up in the Turtle Club in this really weird spot where to include most people console wise, we're largely Switch for most of our users, right? We have Xbox members, we have PlayStation users, but we have far more Switch users than anything else. But then Nintendo started requiring a fee, and it's like, well, there's a problem. So it started. I was, oh yeah, doing good, man, doing good, Caden. Yeah, I remember. Like, your mom's Stormy, right? Am I remembering that right, or am I confusing with somebody else? Because I know. Like, you were Batman Caden at one point, weren't you? I'm 41 now, so my brain may not be. Yeah, Batman Caden. Because I remember every time you joined, like if you be anybody, be Batman. Unless you be Caden, then be Caden. Because it was always kind of cool to see the name. You don't want to pay a membership. Yeah, that's you know, that's kind of where it goes, though, right? I mean, and I understand why you charge a membership fee to your customers for like the Switch and the PS4 and the Xbox and all that, is because somebody's got to pay for all those servers. The servers are not free. Yeah, you get over the name. You know, naming is on the internet, especially because it's so fluid, right? It is one of those things that especially when you're younger, a lot of your actual usernames generally are going to be whatever you find amazing or entertaining at the time. And you know, there's like so many people that have like Minecraft in their username, or Roblox in their username, or you know, GTA 5 girl Laura. You know, she's one of our mods. We haven't seen her online in a very long time, so we do hope she's doing okay. She hasn't been streaming in a very long time either, so you know, but she's also like college age at this point, and she is probably, you know, dealing with college and everything else that comes with that. But you know, she went as GTA 5 girl for a while, and then just went as GTA Laura. And then eventually she just dropped the GTA altogether because, you know, she had other things pop up in her life that she realized that having something tied to a fandom or a pop culture thing or something along those lines just really wasn't going to work long term. Eventually, no matter how good something is, no matter how much you enjoy something, and this is just, those 40 years of experience, 41 years of experience talking, you do outgrow that to some point. Even if you don't necessarily outgrow it, society outgrows it. And then you get these weird, oh, I'm so trapped, I'm so trapped, I'm so trapped, get me out of there, get me out of there. Eventually, you kind of have these moments where people are like, oh, yeah, I remember that. That was like a game for kids or something. Or, oh, yeah, I remember that. That was like one of those things that had that big scandal, or any number of just craziness, right? Grow a channel, that's why you change the name. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. Trust me. Trust me on that. And it's not easy. It's not easy, And the other thing you got to be really careful about when you're doing a channel like that, right? Like if you were, say, make your name like Fortnite Sniper or something, or Master Chief's Lieutenant, or like Sonic the Hedgehog's second cousin, or anything along those lines. You kind of pigeonhole the channel into this is the content you have to do, or you wind up just kind of getting stuck. I don't know if I'm in. This is not a course I'm familiar with either, and I don't know if this is going good for me or bad for me. I know if I don't get that upper ramp, it's pretty bad because it means I have to ride in the sand. And that was kind of one of the things that early on was a risk for this channel. Was we started off with Breath of the Wild. We did a whole lot of Breath of the Wild. And then after Breath of the Wild, we let the community decide what they wanted to see more of, right? We know what's the next game. And it was a resounding do another Zelda game. And so our next 100% playthrough was Zelda, and we just sort of became the Zelda channel for a while. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a finite amount of Zelda games out there. And eventually, we have to play something else. And the first time we did that, I don't remember even what game it was. I want to say it was like Fortnite Save the World or Ark. Something along those lines, though. And we had like 3 or 4 people who weren't really what I'd call core viewership. Like yourself, Caden, and the Alienated One, and Princessa, and like Shadow, and the rest of the people that have been here since day one and have been here for all of the series, right? But they came and some people were like, hey man, why aren't you playing Zelda? I'm like, well, because I don't want to play Zelda today. And they just blew their mind, right? And we're like, well, you're a Zelda channel. I said, well, no. And we were playing on PlayStation on top of that. And they're like, well, you're a Nintendo channel. I'm like, no. we're a gaming channel. And so you got to kind of be careful with how you go about making your content to start with. Because it's really easy to get stuck in that area. And you can lose. That's the worst part about it, too. Is if you don't do anything to kind of change that outlook or that viewpoint on your subscriber base to start with, they're going to everybody loves Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild. I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild too. When it comes out, I'm absolutely going to play that. I have no doubt that we're going to have viewerships go up when we start streaming that. We're going to have people that we haven't seen on stream show up for like the first time in forevers. I'm excited for that. I really want to see the rest of that story play out. I really am looking forward to more content. Truth be told, had there been more DLC for Breath of the Wild, had there been more zones, more content added, anything along those lines, we still would be streaming Breath of the Wild occasionally because we'd be playing the new content. We just ran out of content. We did, Chadley's redoing Breath of the Wild. He's doing 100%. He hasn't done 100% stream on it yet. He's doing it without a guide, if I remember right, so that's going to be really cool. I've seen a couple pieces of that. Um, I haven't been able to watch Chatterley stream as often, or Rella or any of them. Uh, I I saw the new Zelda. Can we really call it a trailer? It was less a trailer and more like a magazine article that was in motion. it 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 didn't give us like anything new except for the name of the game. And understandably, with what our United Kingdom members are going through right now, with the title being what it is, Nintendo did the right thing by not putting it as a live direct. And so that was, hats off to them. Nintendo did the right thing on that. Having something, yeah, it was pretty short, and it was like these, yeah. You're going to pre-order it, yeah. As soon as pre-order comes out, I'm 1,000% on board with that. I pre-ordered Sword and Shield when the Sword and Shield pre-orders went out. I did not pre-order Scarlet and Violet. Like I said, Digrat and I, we play every Pokemon game. All right, Sal, stay safe. Stay safe. But Sword and Shield, as fun as parts of it were, and the way the Pokemon were was kind of cool. Don't get me wrong on that at all. But Sword and Shield was pretty easy. I mean, it's like they took a look at Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, and said, what can we do to change this? Hey, Shadow! Welcome, man. Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one, Sally. And I just wish we would have. You don't know how you feel about it. Sword Shield was just. It was good. It was good, right? It wasn't great. It was good, and I think it's very telling, in my opinion, that the Diamond and Pearl remakes were so more well received than Scarlet and Violet. It was 900 Alienated One, and no doubt Nintendo will do something like that similar, because it's only gotten worse as the game's progressed. Okay. So Rainbow Road, it is Space Station Rainbow Road. So historically, as far as the Rainbow Road goes, I've been pretty good on this one. Can I pause real quick? Oh, Kaden! Thank you for joining the. We got to figure out a name for that, guys. Get a hashtag Kaden going on. Thank you for becoming a supporter of the channel. Really appreciate that, man. For those that are curious, the supporters, it is $4.99 USD. We are actually looking in different options for different tiers. That's something that we do have planned for this year before the year's end. But $4.99 right now gets you access to a few things. If you are in our Discord and you have your YouTube channel linked to your Discord account, it does get you access to several other channels in the Discord. And if we are on a live stream like this and we are playing, you do have voice chat access for that as well. Anytime you make a donation to the channel, that also gets you access, because we believe that one-time donations are just as important in the world of what we do here. Your contributions go to making sure we have the newest games to play. If our hardware goes bad, like the video camera issue we had earlier this year, it makes sure that we are able to get new hardware. It makes sure that we have the stream set we have. So thank you for that. Shadow, Sally, T-Mac Music, David, and Caden, Thank you all for being a sponsor at this moment. We've had several in the past: Curse Smart Gamer, Keo, Zombie Billy, Dylan, and Incendio has even helped him. And you know, you guys, you just everything is just amazing. It really is. 900, 8,000. I really think we should track the streams. Oh, appreciate it, appreciate it. You know, there's just not enough hours in the day. Alien One. I've got so many things that I want to do for this channel still, and I'm working on a lot of stuff in the background, guys. I've learned my lesson. I can say that I'm working on stuff in the background. I can give you some ideas of what we're doing, but I can't like guarantee a delivery time because I'm really bad at that. I'm really bad at that because life is just one of those things that is relentless. And while I'm planning to do things, and when I went to go do things, it's just not lined up. This Rainbow Road, personally, it's not a bad Rainbow Road. I actually find it to be, of the Rainbow Roads in the game, right, it's actually one of the easier ones. At least on 50cc. On, like, 100cc, it's horrible. But I'll take the win. I'll take the win. I just move here, guys. Got some dig rat stuff going on. Digrat's currently with her family in Kentucky. She's actually returning late Sunday, so I'm this weekend still responsible for making sure that I have food to eat and that kind of stuff. We actually completed a cup, another cup. We're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, and now that I'm not like racing for my life here. Get the hashtag there going there for that, man. We're definitely warmed up. We're definitely warmed up. Let's see here. Hey, what do we got? Oh, we know who that is. Boom. And then throw that on there. All right. Just take a look at some stuff here. In the Discord. We got a Caden in the Discord now. The Impossible, or just name yourself Caden. That works too. That works too. And it looks like you have a few things. So looking at your Discord there, Caden, it looks like you have an opinion about Stranger Things. Like a fairly strong opinion, if I dare say so. Like, remember, we are a family-friendly channel, so if you have strong words to say about it, you may have to temper them somewhat. As a joke, you love it. All right, okay. Well, I appreciate that being a joke because I was like, with someone's profile pic being that, and then saying that you hate Stranger Things. So I've been watching it. I'd watched all season one. It was amazing, and then there's that huge gap between season one and season two, and I just it just fell off my radar for a while. And then Digrat started watching it. I was like, I keep meaning to actually watch that again. You have strong opinions about Stranger Things. I find it fun. I find Stranger Things fun. I find the writing to be decent for the intended audience and everything. I currently have not watched the very long forever finale. It's like that 2-part finale where like one's an hour and a half and one's like 2 centuries and 5 days or something. So I've watched all the way up to there. We try to be spoiler free, but I really feel like there's some characters in like season 3 that they sort of like touched on and then just sort of forgot about. I sort of wish they would have brought them back. But yeah, it's good though. It definitely has some scary moments, Princessa. It's got a little bit of jump scare, but it's more psychological thriller at times than like your usual Michael Myers, uh, yeah, Friday the 13th stuff. But it's such a campy '80s throwback though at times that it's very, for the most part, I'll say that for the most part, like 95 to 99% of the time, if you are an older person like myself, a lot of what's about to happen you can kind of sense or see coming if you've seen other stuff like it. But it's more science fiction, a little bit of the Eldritch horror kind of stuff than anything, to be honest. Oh, we did not mean to mushroom that hard. Oh well. But it's pretty good. Watched Umbrella Academy. Super caught up on that. Right now I'm watching Cobra Kai. A few of the guys I work with on my shift have been saying, Mag, you need to watch Cobra Kai so we can talk about it. And I was like, all right, we'll do what we can for that. Another race down. Another race down. Boom. But it's not really as bad as like American Horror Story, for example. Definitely not my personal cup of tea. Based on the 80s and 90s is good stuff, Cobra Kai, super kind of weird way of being based on the 80s. It's the joke that I have right now with the guys that have told me that I have to watch it is I'm like, oh, Cobra Kai, or how to watch the Karate Kid trilogy in 40 days. Because every episode, it seems, has like a scene from the original trilogy movies. Though I really want to see like um, the third Karate Kid movie kind of get referenced more. I don't think it will, but I would love to see Mr. Miyagi's other student show up. But I think with what's kind of weird, right, is with how the Stranger Things is like top tier. Stranger Things is pretty good. I won't deny that. I won't deny that. I will say that it's, for me, I know that you just became a member of the channel, uh, Caden. So don't hate me for this, right? But it probably doesn't break my personal top 10. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's really good. But I'm old and I've seen a lot of stuff. So I have like 35 years of things to compare it to. And so it's really good, and it's probably my top 50. I will grant it top 50. I'll say probably even top 25. But personally, not right in my top 10 for TV shows. But I also watch a lot of anime, so I'm not old. You're only as old as you feel, right? You're only as old as you feel, and I feel pretty old. I feel pretty old. I am older than the internet. That's you know that's pretty bad. I'm older than Nintendo, the original Nintendo. Yeah, we are people. We are all people, and we're allowed to have a different opinion. So I appreciate you being very open minded about that, man. But it's good. I really enjoy it. I really do need to finish the finale on it, and if nothing more than so me and Digger can talk about it because she's seen it. She watched the first season. She's like, I'm like 3 episodes in, and it's really not all. I don't know. And then she watched like episode 4, and she just took off. Her favorite character in the whole entire series is Erica. She loves Erica. But anyone who's ever watched a Dig Rat stream is probably not surprised at that at all. Dragon Driftway. This is such a cool course. It's all about your man Steve. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Steve's on his way home right now. 90 years old. 90 is definitely not a young age. But it really is. It is definitely one of those things that you forgot that was your bio. That's hilarious. I don't remember what mine is. I know on the channel, and I know on stream or on Steam, it's husband first, employee second, streamer third, and that's kind of like the personal motto that I have for what we do here, because I do everything for Digrat, and then I do everything to support being able to do everything for Digrat, and then I like to hang out with you guys. He is the best single mom in Hawkins. Oh, oh, oh. I see what you did there. The Digrat streams, yes, they are epic. Digrat has not streamed in a very long time, and I gotta be direct, probably not going to be streaming anytime soon. Namely because Digrat has a very kind of sporadic schedule going, where she's been going up to Kentucky and back to take care of her family. Remember, keep your bio PG. That's not a bad thing to do. That's not a bad thing to do. Especially on Discord, right? There are so many communities I'm a part of in Discord, to the point to where I have a Python bot that has a web browser page that it scrapes the Discord of. So if I get like random anythings, really, DMs and whatnot, it actually shuts them off and whatnot. I can't tell if his fuse is getting shorter. Let's just eject him. But you never know what kind of community you're going to wind up in, and to be honest, it's a lot easier for you to like change a nickname in a community that has a more adult nature to it than to go into a community that is intended for mixed company, including minors, and set a really bad first impression. The number of people that we've actually had to kick out of our Discord. You've been on Discord since its launch. I have not. I have not. I heard about Discord in 2017, 2016, and I begrudgingly joined it because I was one of those non-Discord people to start with. You know, we had a vid server and that kind of thing for all the status that awards you back from the old internet, right? And so, and I still don't know how Discord really works, right? You've always respected the roles. I think that that's important. I really do. I think that keeping their community system as available as possible and trying to do as much as we can to avoid any government pointing oversight toward Discord and similar communities is important. Youth City's not a bad little course. But it's becoming Red Shell City, that's for certain. Well, Discord's also got Nitro and boosting servers and those kind of things. And so I would dare say they get a lot of money that way. And I know, like, for like corporations and whatnot, you know, like Epic Games and Wild Card and what's the other one? Fortnite, those kind of groups, right? I'm sure they are paying a decent amount of money to Discord for all their branding and all that kind of stuff. But it's still kind of funny because, like, even with all that, right? Some places, like their official Discord servers, not even like the most popular server. Like I had mentioned, you know, I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm on their community Discord, and it's a Reddit Discord. It's not even the original. It's not actually the game, right? It's Reddit, and so it's a Discord. Oh, that's. I'm so far ahead. I'm okay. Sea of Thieves is the same way. Yeah, you know, stuff like that. The official community is kind of like there, but those environments sometimes, especially when their community managers are just doing it wrong, they kind of come across as very sterile. I think is the best word for it. You know, like you come in and it's sort of like less about going into a gaming community and kind of more like going into a doctor's office. Like, you are participant 512 in this Discord. Please wait to be seated by a mod, or something like that. But yeah, stuff like that though, you know, it's impressive. It's impressive though, so how these communities just explode. But the downside, of course, though, is if you're in an unofficial Discord, there's not a lot you can do when it goes super rogue. Or when people start joining the Discord that really aren't there for the intended purpose. That's another big one. Oh my gosh. That's such a thing. That's such a thing. Speaking of Elder Scrolls, just got a notification that the vendor for Elder Scrolls Online is up right now. Every Friday night, there's a special vendor that you can buy things from. Nintendo was founded on September 23rd, 1889. Oh, Princess, you're funny. You're funny. The company was founded in 1889, but the actual Nintendo Entertainment System, the this little thing, right? The one that's like twice as big that I can't easily move into the frame of the camera. I'm older than that. I'm like 3 years older than that, something like that. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Back out of there. See if anyone gets the friend room going. Actually, let's see if there's anyone even online right now that's playing Mario Kart. So, DB Master. We haven't seen DB in forever. Wow. You're older than that too. Yeah, see, so we're old. Personally, there's nothing wrong with that. But we're old. You know, we're older than what's considered to be the first modern gaming console. Atari doesn't get that name because Atari was a computer. Atari was a computer and an electronic, and Nintendo was a toy. And there's a very important reason for that. It's old person stuff with Mag, right? We can create a room. We don't have anybody playing, so we're just going to back out. We can probably knock out the last little cup here. But so Atari and Nintendo are like these two sides of this really, really important video game coin, right? When Atari came out, they were the first. They were, you know, there's the ColecoVision, the Commodore, and all those things, but Atari was like the king of video game things. And Baby Park, love Baby Park. You'll always be a kid at heart, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can be an old kid, trust me on that, you know. If you can be an old dog, you can be a young kid, or an old kid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But, you know, I prefer to think of it as not being an adult. But so Atari came out. Oh, Star Power. Star Power is dangerous here. Check profile next time if you ever get a chance. Alright, we'll do Caden. 100% we'll do that. But so Atari started realizing that once they sold the console, unless they were selling games afterwards, there wasn't a whole lot they could do to make money. Except for they still could sell the rights to make games on the console. So if you wanted to pay, you had to pay Atari for like developing and all that kind of stuff. And that was important. And so Atari started just selling the rights to games everywhere. And there wasn't any like real process to it. It's just like you came to Atari and says, "Hey Atari, I want to make a video game on your thing." And Atari said, "You want to give us money? Give us money." And that was the end of the discussion. There was nothing beyond that. It was, we're going to give Atari money, and That was bad. I still don't know how. I don't know how close second place is to me. Baby Park is so bad for that. But this happened a lot, right? That's why we have games. Oh, gyms like ET. ET, exactly. I was getting to that. Oh my gosh, Alienated. You're jumping ahead in the story. I love it. I love it. But games started pouring in droves. And not only that, but we are a family-friendly channel. There are games that are on the Atari that we cannot talk about on this channel because there was not a single group out there. There wasn't anyone that cared what the games were about. So there's just a we'll call it a dumpster's worth of games for the Atari that came out there, and not all the games made sense. Not all the games were really good. It's Nintendo's anniversary today, 133 years. Technically, today. Oh wow, that's cool. But you'll probably not see Nintendo celebrating that because it's Nintendo, the playing card game company, and not Nintendo video game company. Oddly enough, right? But so there are just games that were just licensed and by just about anybody. One of the most famous in that vein is Pac-Man. There is a Pac-Man game on the Atari. It's a licensed Pac-Man game. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, if you need to play Pac-Man, I mean, like, if you wake up and your brain is like, if I don't play Pac-Man, things are going to get ugly, then it will work. It'll do the trick. It'll do the trick. It is, technically, you are a thing moving around on a map that resembles a maze, being chased by blobs that could be ghosts, eating what looks like pellets that you normally would feed to some sort of caged rodent. So it hits all of like the important things that sort of mean this is a game about Pac-Man. Outside of that, though, it's really bad. I mean, it really is. But, you know, the worst of these games, though, for just licensing reasons, was E.T. E.T. on Atari is one of those games that if you don't know what the game is trying to indicate or tell you or say to you, don't feel bad, because most of the people who have speedrun it, that's right, there's a speedrunning category for these horrible games. Most people have tried to speedrun it, still can't tell you exactly what's going on. Just they know that if they do certain things in certain orders, that the game stops and they get credits and they win. It's just that bad. It's just that bad. But because of this, the Atari home computing system, that's important to know. This is what it was. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Raiders of the Lost Ark, oh my gosh. And you know, there was a perfectly acceptable game that they could have used for Raiders of the Lost Ark called Pitfall, and they could have just like skinned that and done so much better with that. Like, oh my gosh, they could have done so many great things with that. But there are people taking like arcade games and butchering them and then putting them on the Atari as fast as they could. And what happened is eventually it got to the point to where you really didn't know what games were garbage or not. You really didn't know what games would be worth your money. And, you know, back then, right, we're talking like 70s, there wasn't the internet. There wasn't this wide communications network that you could simply just go on and look at YouTube. When Pong came out, I don't remember when Pong came out because that was before I was born, but I did grow up with a Pong system in my household. One of those ones that just had the two paddles, and you just basically played Pong on it, and that's all it was just Pong. which was pretty amazing for its time, according to what my dad would tell me. But those kind of games, originally were I told you, Princessa, I'm old. I'm old. You don't believe me, but I grew up with old people, and so I grew up old. My father was a disco instructor. He taught people how to dance disco. That's how he met my mom. She attended one of his classes. That's how he would tell the story, at least. My mom tells the story that she met him in a bar before she signed up for the classes, and it was because she met him in the bar that she signed up for his class. But either way, their relationship really started from the class, would be the way to say it. But yeah, so you had all these game developers just churning out. I think the proper term these days is what we call shovelware. You basically just from start to finish, you get it out the gate as fast as you can dig the hole with it. And so the Atari just went bankrupt. I mean, the console, the system, the games, the culture, it just died out of like nowhere because no one really trusted it anymore. And it was unfortunate because Nintendo spent a lot of time and effort developing their home game console, which was called the Famicom home computer. It was the Famicom, which was the family computer. That's where Famicom comes from. The Nintendo Famicom meant family computer, and the home computer market, that was a bad market. No one really wanted that. They that whole market collapsed. And so what they did is the Famicom and subsequently the Nintendo were both marketed as toys. They weren't marketed as electronics. They were marketed as toys. And what's interesting is that actually gave a benefit to Nintendo. Because it was a toy and not an electronic, the tariffs for it were different. Final race. I love the Animal Crossing world. Because this course I love especially because the weather changes, and so the course changes based upon when you race it. But so because Nintendo, there was a couple other consoles that tried to come out about the same time Nintendo came out, but because the Nintendo wasn't marketed as a game console, it was marketed as a children's toy. And because it came out near the holiday season, there was a few things that people found out about it really, really quick. Kids wanted it, When you have a toy and you have a kid and you have the packaging right and you advertise it to the kid just right, the kid doesn't care what's in the box. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we have so many things that protect children, right? Is because children are very easily advertised towards. And so all these kids wanted a Nintendo. Didn't matter what it did to start with, every kid wanted a Nintendo. And because it was in the toy aisle and not the electronic aisle, that's how the kids got the word of mouth going about it. Because you could avoid, in most cases, when you went to shop, right, at like your local Walmart or a Kmart or TG&Y or whatever store you may have been shopping at the time, back then, you could avoid the electronics because most kids had no reason to go to electronics. And if you needed to go there for batteries or something, you could tell the kid to, hey, stand here for a second, I'm going to grab batteries, be back. But the toy aisle, kids knew what the toy aisle was. They were going for those toys. You know, that's the whole point that a kid would go on a shopping trip with people back then, especially, was so they could go see the toys and stuff. And so this had two huge advantages, right? Because you had all these kids that were seeing this game console because they wouldn't see it otherwise in the electronics area. And then one step further than that, and this is probably where Nintendo really hit the jackpot with their strategy, is because the tariffs were so low on the Nintendo because it was a game toy and not a game console, not a computer, right? That they were actually spending less money to get the Nintendo into the United States, into Canada, into Europe. The tariffs on toys were so disproportionate to electronics. And whereas something like the Commodore at the time was going for like 120, 140, the Nintendo was going for 100. And that's in 1980s dollars. It's a big deal, right? It's a big deal. And so that's one of the reasons why Nintendo became just a huge, just household name, is because they were first to market as a toy, and they captured all of the kids out there that wanted to have anything to do with that, yeah, you know, and it was one of those things that, and the last little piece of that puzzle, right? The only reason why Nintendo even went that route with it, the only reason why Nintendo was like, we can't be a computer, we got to be a toy, was because no one wanted to buy those electronic consoles, really. And so people saw this toy, and they bought it. They bought it in spades. And yeah, so pretty cool, you know, pretty cool. Hey, so we got another cup. I'm super happy about that. We have things unlocked, technically, right? So we did. Oh, it tells us which cups we got. So we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then all of those. So we're missing 6 regular cups. So that's pretty cool. Hey, we actually got 100cc on like 3 stars. Oh, the mirror cup. That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, Turtle Club, it is 10 p.m. My dryer is probably about to yell at me again. I really got to get the laundry done. I do have other things I got to do tonight. I really appreciate everybody who's hung out with me tonight. It's been fun. It's been amazing. Alienated One, as always, man. Always glad to see you. Always glad to talk to you. Sally, stay safe. Keo, enjoy your time off since you got home from overtime. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Divine Love Reborns, thank you for popping in as well. Always a pleasure to see you also. Incendio, oh man. Yeah, lots of good conversation about the OLED earlier today and why it may or may not be good for you. Princessa and Caden, our newest. Speaking of that, let's go fix that right now. This number 4. Bam. Number 4 goes to a number 5. As Shadow, Lurk Squad, Lurk Member Supreme, just in time. Oh, Keo. Oh, man. Life is hard sometimes, man. But, you know, keep with it, dude. And congratulations once again, man, because I know it's been a long time since we got to talk because, you know, Keo and me and Digrat, we have something in common. We're new homeowners. And so there's a lot involved in that. And so really props to you on that, man. Props to you on that because that's rough. That's rough. You got a lot of stuff going there. Now it's official. Yeah, now it's official. Got the number up there and everything. And the last piece of that makes it official is we're going to be revamping some stuff to where we get our sponsor names back in the chat somehow. And so we're working on that. We're working on that, guys. We got stuff planned. Love the time for us chat again. Oh yeah. You know, that's the you know, it's kind of funny, right? Because as you become more and more adult, you realize that your priorities shift. And it's not that you have less time per se, right? It's just you have less time to do certain things. But yeah, we got more things planned. Like this here, like this whole entire overlay here. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but this is like the Star Fox, uh, F-Zero kind of thing going on. And we're adding things like that to whatever we can, and yeah, we're super excited. Yeah, yeah, I'm super excited about all this, guys. So next Friday, if you've got any recommendations on you want to see us stream next Friday in our Discord, drop us a recommendation. If you're watching this video on replay, reply. Tell us in the comments, of what you'd like to see. And we're gonna every Friday, East Coast time, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's what we're gearing for. That's what we're gearing for. But yeah, guys, super awesome to have everyone here today. I'm gonna have myself a good evening. For me, it's kind of like a good morning, right? A good afternoon. Everyone out there, stay safe. Have a good breakfast, good lunch, good dinner. Stay safe and wash your hands, guys. But have a good one. Thanks for watching.